Yes.
That's Mr. Olushalauke.
Yes.
This is the reaction of his campaign office to the to the exercise. He says the election did not represent the true position of the delegates. The accreditation gave room for manipulation, and the whole process was laced with fraud. And the result released did not represent the true reflection of the delegates, as non-delegates were allowed to participate in the election. That is the stand of Mr. Olushalauke, the man who came third. He had 576 votes in that primary. Is he right?
That's a statement. You've got to give particulars. It's not just sufficient to make a statement.
Were there non-delegates of the party who voted in that election?
It is possible, but so we're not talking of a perfect situation.
But you just told us right now.
I said it is fair.
Fair.
Yes.
But if there were non-delegates who voted, would you consider that as fair?
Yes, it was still fair. In an election, in a normal election, the mere fact that you have irregularity does not mean you are talking of substantiality.
So there were irregularities in that election?
There may have been. There may have been.
The appeal process is ongoing right now, yes. And I'm very sure the sitting was yesterday around afternoon.
2 days ago.
And you saw some of the allegations brought forward.
I saw just like the allegation that Olushalauke was raising. The point I'm making is that you've got to present particulars that substantially affect the process. And then look, I spoke with him, Olushalauke, and he told me that, look, there are, I think he said 147 injected into something. That's it. And I said, look, my first question, he said, well, assuming that is true, well, how are you sure they didn't vote for you? I mean, because you're talking of now knocking off the victory of Rotimi Akeredolu. In order to ensure that, you've got to show not just that there were irregularities, but that irregularity is imputable to him. Right. That's the law.
Okay, let me quickly show you this. There are some people who voted, and they said they were paid to come and vote. They're not even members of the APC at all. They were picked from the streets to go and vote. Take a listen to them.
Yes.
Owner came to me and said that there was a business outside, that they are looking for people who can go and vote for them. So who are those people? So the people that are working for Akiti. They are giving out money. How much is that? He said it's 10,000 naira. What? If they show they can protect us, I will follow you. The woman approached me, then they said we should enter into a box. I entered that box, and they gave us 10,000 naira. But what other identification are we going to show when we get there? They said we should not worry, that they will provide us the tag that is meant for the people that are voting.
Every one of us shared the tag. Even the one they gave me was already tore. Seems about 2-3 people have used it already. So I have to find a way of putting a hole on the tag and I'll hang it on my neck. So then the women who were not allowed to queue, asked us to just go in like that. And I asked them when we get to at the entrance of the place, I asked them, do we need anything to present? They said no. I said about our voters card, they said they don't need it. So we dropped everything, even my phone and everything, just went in there. Then when we entered the place, they asked us to hold the tag like this, the delegate tag, that we should hold it like this, so which we did. And then later, they now collected it from us and gave a ballot paper. Then I voted.
Those are some of those who said they voted, and they said they were given money. I will allow Dr. Tunji Abayomi to respond to this. If he says it's a fair process, well, what would be his response to these? But that will be in a moment. We'll take this breather and we'll return. Join us again. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us on the program. We've been talking about the issue of the controversy surrounding the APC primary in Ondo State. A lot of people are expecting the governorship election, but you heard before we went on that break, some delegates, well, if you say bought delegates, if you may, because they said they paid, and they're not even members of the APC, but they participated in the primary, which saw the emergence of Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu. Dr. Tunji Abayomi has been talking to us. When you say that exercise was fair. Some people were just taken from the streets. The Channel Television cut some of them and interviewed them, and they said they were paid 10,000 naira. Are you see starting that exercise was free and fair?
My response to that is just simple. First and foremost, there is nowhere in the world or under any circumstances that this kind of evidence is considered probative of anything. You come out to say that I was given money to go and vote. That's nothing. That's no evidence of any kind. That's the first issue. The second issue is, if you can take money to go and vote, you can also take money, even lesser money, to go and lie, to tell a lie. So this is not a serious issue as far as I'm concerned.
It doesn't put your party in a serious sort of a sour public image as it stands, because if this kind of thing is going on, your party has come as a party that is preaching change, and we see this kind of thing coming up.
You've got to put this against the act itself. These are just words of people who said, "Oh, I was paid to vote."
Should this kind of words even be found relating to your party at all?
It can come from the minds of anybody, with due respect. People have different ambitions. But what I want to say is that the process itself is quite commendable.
Okay.
I was there in that hall. I sat next to Olushola.
Did money exchange hands in this exercise?
In terms of what?
In terms of votes for delegates.
Oh, of course. Yes, I maintain that. And it is a pattern. Politics in Nigeria is based on two, what I would call twisted pivots.
So
it is not just here, where it's money by leaders and deceit by followers.
So some of you aspirants,
some
of you aspirants actually pay delegates to vote for you.
A lot of that's the common practice. I didn't personally, because in principle I refuse, and I will continue to refuse to buy delegates. But you must understand
Mr. Akeredolu pay to delegates?
Most of them, and with due respect, it's not just Akeredolu. Didn't Shegun Abraham pay?
How much did they pay?
You know, you would have to ask them.
No, but you were in that. I'm not a delegate, so I wouldn't have been allowed.
I cannot.
But I heard they paid to almost 50,000.
Just as you heard it, I heard it too. I cannot attest to the amount. I didn't. But all I know is that because of the level of poverty in the country, the delegates are willing to go to the pit, if necessary, to get the money. They are willing to go to the pit to get the money.
Just as we close now, a lot of people say that Akeredolu has emerged at the face of anti-imposition. Do you see him so?
As a consequence, I would say, of anti-imposition, as a consequence of our struggle. Let's remember that in 2012, I was against this Akeredolu. I was against him.
But now you're standing with him.
But now I stand with him because the process that produced him now is credible, is free, and is free from undue influence. At that time, it was a decision by some leaders, independent
some of you
of the interest.
Who have been said to have ganged up against Asiwaju Tinubu's
there's no gang. We gang up for freedom. You can gang up for due process. You can gang up.
And that's what has happened.
Yes, and it is fair. And it's even in the interest of Asiwaju.
Dr. Tunji Abayomi, many thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure having you on the show.
Yes, thank you.
Many thanks also for being part of the program. You're such a great company. And some of your messages I'm seeing right here. On behalf of the team right here at Channel Television, I'm Sean Kimale. Bye for now.